Yo. What's going on? What's going on? Good people, peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. Happy, tenacious, and truthful Tuesday. The sirens are blaring outside. Story in New York. LIC is New York City, man. This shit is just always freaking loud, man. This shit is always loud. As much as I love my city, I've said it many times. Ultimate goal is to live outside of the city. Right, have a spot in the city, come to a couple times a week maybe. When I got a lecture or have meetings, but like I need to live like in a secluded area. I need to live like in the woods. That has been my dream since the youth, to live in the mountains somewhere, 2, 3, 4 hours away from the city, right? Any city, New York City, LA. Like I just need to live in the woods in a nice house. Um, with grass, greenery, right? Not too far from the water. I need a lake, right? I need a lake. I need to have, observe some water regularly. Um, Not too far from the ocean, right? I need to be able to get to the ocean within a few hours, right? Could be a couple of hour drive. Um, but yeah, I'm over the city, man. It's too freaking loud, right? And what's funny is that I'm good with the noise now, right? I just acknowledge it because like it be happening and we doing the show, but it doesn't bother me as much. But I understand the impact that it has on our nervous system, right? And the fact that it doesn't bother me so much says something, right? My nervous system has adapted, um, but it bothers our children, right? Like, what kind of effect does that have on our children, especially when you teach children like that sirens, police sirens, ambulance sirens mean police sirens, someone's hurt or in trouble. Ambulance sirens, someone is hurt, all right, sick. And you just constantly hearing sirens. It's like, yo, their mind is another person hurt, somebody else is in trouble, another shit is fucked up. All right, dysregulation, real thing. It fucks up our nervous system in such a bad way. Yo, Unc, what's going on? Champ 1711, what's going on, Uncle? I appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. Sefu Sankofa, peace and love, my brother. Thanks for tuning in. Listen, we got a show for you guys today. I'm excited, man. I got some shit working on yesterday, man. Created some shit that has been in my head for a couple of years. Um, as a concept, been in my head for decades as a thing, right? Before it was actually a concept, I had a question like, why does this certain thing keep happening? And then it was like, okay, a couple years ago, 2, 3 years ago, 3, 4 years ago, maybe 2021 or so, whatever it was, but a couple years back, I started to like that idea of why this specific thing keeps happening. I came up with an idea to address that issue, right? And I spoke to a few people about it, and it was just an idea, right? People were like, yo, great idea. And I tried to bring these people like, yo, help me develop this, right? I don't really know where to go with this. And everybody got their life, and they thought it was a great idea, but like they doing their thing, so they have no time to help me develop it. But it stuck with me. It did not leave me, and I was able to finally like put it out in front of me, and we created some shit. That is the evolution of everything that I'm doing. Right, it's another leg to the work that I already do. Uh, it just addresses a very specific niche. All right, that I'm extremely passionate about. So yeah, I can't wait to roll that out for you all. All right, roll it out for the world, for the people who support me, um, and build it. Right, build it in real time. Uh, so yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. I was up pretty late. Yesterday was like a Yesterday was the day. Yesterday was like a tired day. I slept a lot. I was in bed a lot, but I was creating. Right, I was thinking. I was writing. I was formulating. I was typing. I was asking questions. I was developing, and it's a beautiful thing to be able to develop from the comfort of your bed, right? Being able to uh, create something while home chilling, right? I had some meetings yesterday. But yeah, I'm extremely excited. And let's get the show started, man. Once again, I'm your boy, your host, Sean Sugar Marston. You are tuned into SR Daily, episode 525. It is Tuesday, December 23rd. Tuesday, December 23rd, 2025. 2 days before Christmas, 2 days before the end of the winter solstice, and the light returns, and the day starts to get longer again. 8 days from New Year's Eve, right, December 31st, going into January 2026. Tuesday, man. It's rainy outside here in New York City. Rainy, snowy, wintry mix. But it's a day. It's a day. We're alive. We're here, right? And there's nothing better than that, right? Living is still the best thing going. And we're gonna get the show started. We're gonna start with our first segment of the day. Today's first segment on this Tenacious and Truthful Tuesday, December 23rd, episode 525 of SRDaily is a word of the day. Today's word is continuum. Continuum. Contiuum. Continuum. Continuum is something that keeps on going, changing slowly over time, like the continuum of the four seasons. Something that changes in character gradually or in very slight stages without any clear dividing points. A continuous sequence in which adjacent elements are not perceptibly different from each other, although the extremes are quite distinct. At the fast end of the fast slow continuum, time space continuum, right? Light darkness continuum. Again, let's read. Continuum is defined as something that keeps on going, changing slowly over time, like the continuum of the four seasons. Something that changes in character gradually or in very slight stages without any clear dividing points. A continuous sequence in which adjacent elements are not perceptibly different from each other, although the extremes are quite distinct. At the fast end of the fast slow continuum, or the light speed continuum, there is also what is called the mental health continuum. There's something that's called the mental health continuum. Let's read. The mental health continuum shows four different states: no distress, which is healthy functioning; mental distress, which is common and reversible stress; mental health problem, which is significant functional impairment; and mental illness, which is severe and persistent functional impairment. And we have an article here that we are going to read a little bit from. All right. So mental health continuum is one way to think about mental health. All of us have a mental health life. We all experience changes in our mood, changes in our level of anxiety from life stresses or from crises. And those changes can be considered on a spectrum or a continuum. On this continuum, we can move from healthier to more disrupted levels of functioning and back. At each level, there are resources available to promote health and reduce disruption. Extremely important. Mental health continuum is one way to think about mental health. All of us have a mental health life. We don't have to talk about mental health only when it's a problem. Oh, this person, you need mental health. No, what does that even mean? Like health, physical health, mental health, emotional health. We all have, it's just a state of being. How is your mental health? Right? Uh, a lot of us normally are in the no distress mode, right? We're functioning through our days, we're handling our business, right? And then mental distress is mild, right? It's frustration at work. The bus is late, right? The train is late, right? It's raining and you got something to do, and the weather is impacting you. All right, it's easy to get back to a good space, right? It's pretty easy to get back to no distress. It's easy to alleviate that stress. You breathe, you do some things, you do something else. You like exclaim, you state the problem. Oh, this thing is frustrating me. It's easy to get back. Moderate, significant functional impairment when it's like, okay, it's lasting, it's grief, right? The loss of a loved one, the loss of a job, the loss of or sudden change. You move, you found that you got an illness, right? Like that can linger a little bit, right? That can linger. That can cause some pretty, not severe, but significant impairment, right? In how you function, and how your brain functions, and how your mind is functioning. And then there's severe mental illness, which is a real freaking thing, and that's when you may need some help. That's when you should seek some support. When you have severe and persistent functional impairment, you may need some support. You may need some help. You may need some therapy. Um, but the good thing about it is that for almost everything, and I will actually go on a limb to say for everything under the sun, there is a way to alleviate it. For every issue, for every challenge, for every ailment, for every illness that we experience, there is a way to reverse it. Some things take more time, of course. Some things take more work. Some things take a chemical uh, reharmonization, right? You may got to take some herbs. You may got to take some pills. You may got to change your diet. You maybe got to do something completely different, right? With the chemical makeup in your body, you may got to adjust that. Some will say medicine. Herbs are medicine. Food is medicine. All right. We remember the 7 pillars of a healthy brain. Right. And we get to it like that. So yeah, that's our word of the day. Continuum. You can look it up. There's a lot more. Mental health continuum, time space continuum. In business, there are continuums. Continuums exist, and pretty interesting. All right, but let's move right along to our second segment of the day. Tefu said it's Kwanzaa time, 3 days before Kwanzaa. Absolutely, my brother. Appreciate that. Daily prayer and meditation is used to address my morning health. Beautiful, my brother. I appreciate that. Mona Love, what's going on? What's going on? Happy Tenacious and Truthful Tuesday. My love. Listen, let's move to our second segment of the day. Need to know news. So I caught yo, Stevie Steve, what's going on? Yo, Therese, what's going on? What's going on, sister? Peace and love. Listen, yesterday came across a clip on IG talking about, it was a couple of clips actually, talking about a serial killer in NYC. Talking about how many women have been recently murdered in New York City. And so I looked it up, right? And I did some research and right, quick search, pulled up some stuff, read a couple of articles. And then yeah, right. In recent weeks, 2025, New York City has seen several fatal incidents involving women, including homicides and traffic accidents. Some folks online are saying it's a serial killer, and they believe the NYPD is not doing enough to label it as such. The recent homicides, just Friday, Zuhu 76 was found dead in her Lower East Side apartment on Monroe Street. Police discovered her with trauma to the head and body. A bloodied skateboard was reportedly found nearby. The medical examiner ruled her death a homicide. Lydia Marzin, 72, found dead on December 16, 2025, near the New York Botanical Garden in the Bronx. She had injuries to her head and hands. An unnamed woman, age 47, was fatally stabbed multiple times in a Harlem apartment hallway on 129th Street on November 10th, 2025. A person of interest was taken into custody shortly after the attack. And another unnamed woman, 18, was shot and killed on the Upper West Side in early November 2025. Her death at a Midtown NYCHA building was later ruled a homicide. Right? It was a clip I saw of a guy walk up and stab a woman. Walked up, see the video, see the freaking surveillance video. He walked up and stabbed her. Now there are some traffic fatalities. Unnamed woman, 66, fatally struck by a Hummer in the Bronx on December 22nd, yesterday, 2025. Another unnamed woman in her 60s killed in a hit and run on December 18th, 2025, near Clinton and Stanton Streets on the Lower East Side. She was struck by a black SUV while in a crosswalk. Unnamed woman, 27, struck and killed by a van while crossing the street in the West Village on November 6th. 80-year-old woman killed in a residential fire in Jackson Heights. Now, completely separate, right? Not a serial killer, right? Not the same MO, but still, woman killed. And then there was a California tourist, not a fatality. She didn't die. She was recently stabbed in a restroom at Macy's on 34th Street on December 13th, 2025, while changing her baby's diaper. She was stabbed. A lot of stabbings, right? It's important to differentiate between stabbings, shootings, of course, and vehicular accidents or vehicular homicides, vehicular crashes, right? They're not accidents. People hitting these people. Women, pay attention, please. Be aware, hypervigilant, hyper awareness. As always, some areas are more dangerous than others. Some times of day are more dangerous than others, specifically in certain areas. Don't keep your music so loud when you're outside and you're walking and you're going to and from home, the bus, the train, work, the gym. All right. I'm always a proponent, right? Like I tell my sister, I used to freaking couldn't stand when she got to go to work at 4 in the morning, coming home at 1 a.m. Right? I couldn't stand it. I tell her, listen, make sure you got your mace, make sure you got your blade, and please be aware. My sister actually, one time, I believe, coming from work, late night, uh, guy tried to attack her, and she had to mace him and throw him down on the ground. That happened. My sister Chantel, a guy, I believe 42nd Street, 8th Avenue, E train station, E train, F train station, one of those on 42nd Street. I think she worked at Starbucks at the time. I think she might have been taking the F. Yeah, I think she might have been at 42nd and 6th Avenue, and the guy attacked her. She maced him and threw him on the floor. Threw him on the thing. My sister's pretty tough. But I tell women it doesn't matter how tough you are. Sometimes the guy's just bigger than you. Sometimes he has to drop on you, right? Sometimes he has a weapon, all right? Thankfully, in this situation, in this instance, my sister was on her P's and Q's, and she was able to throw the guy down. Unfortunately, that was not the same for a cousin of mine, my dearly beloved cousin. She wasn't killed or anything, but not paying attention, walking home in Brooklyn. She was in Williamsburg, pretty nice neighborhood, right? Gentrified Williamsburg, pretty nice, pretty safe, you would think. But walking home, drunk, all right, not paying attention. The guy followed her. They said the guy followed her for like 3 blocks, 4 blocks. Guy followed her home, followed her in her building, and tried to rape her, punched her in the face, like pulling her clothes off, like was beating her up. She was fighting back. In her screams, my little cousin, her son, her oldest son, heard her screams, ran downstairs, was able to chase the attacker off, was able to chase the attacker away. But she was physically hurt. Women, we gotta pay attention. Gotta pay attention. Like, so yeah, all of these different incidents, specifically, I believe the stabbings are what is leading different folks online to believe that there is a serial killer in New York City attacking women. Ladies, pay attention. Be aware. Please. And I guess that, all right, you got to do what you got to do. You can't live in fear. Yes, I get that. I get that. If you go to the gym at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. before the sun is up, that's your thing. Like, you can't live in fear. I get that. If you got to go to work and you come home, or you're coming from an event and it's 11 p.m., like, I get that. Just pay attention, please. Pay attention to your surroundings. Notice anything that's off. I like to believe that our intuition is very strong. I think woman's intuition is even stronger than men's intuition. And so pay attention to your surroundings. Notice anybody that looks out of place. Notice anybody that looks like they're lingering. Anybody that looks like they're watching somebody. Right? Pay attention to that shit. Please, 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 please pay attention to that shit. All right. Yeah. Truthful said, this is why I pray and meditate daily to prepare myself for bad news. Yeah, man. Let's move right along to our third segment of the day. We're going to switch the energy up a little bit, family. Anthony Hold'em, what's going on, my brother? Peace and love. Thanks for tuning in. We switch the energy up for our third segment, our tip of the day. Today's tip is to follow your wild ideas. Like, follow your wild ideas, especially the ones that seem too big to be real. Follow them shits. The ideas that you get that come to you that you like, whoa, no, like that make your heart like like whoa, give you those goosebumps, right? Those ideas that seem too big to be real, too good to be true, follow them. Even more so when they are aligned with your life mission and purpose. When those big ideas are already, when they come to you and they're aligned with what you're already doing or what you ultimately want to be doing, follow them. Follow them, follow them, follow them. I believe that we all get ideas every so often that have the ability to take us into a completely different stratosphere, both in terms of impact and income. I think we all get ideas that can literally like change the fabric of the work that we're doing, able to increase impact, right? We're able to serve more people, help more people, speak more about it, teach more about it, and in turn, those ideas that we get that lead to more impact lead to more income. There are some ideas that you get that can take you from making 50,000 a year to making 1 million a year. There are some ideas that you get that can take you from making 1 million a year to making 100 million a year, and so on and so forth, and everything in between. We all get those radical ideas. That's like, it's like, whoa. Again, so when those ideas are aligned with what you're already doing or what you ultimately want to be doing, Absolutely explore those and see if there's anything to it. Explore those ideas. See if there's anything to it. Right? Is it a need in the world? What would it take to bring an idea into fruition? What would it take to make it happen? Can you do it by yourself? Do you need a team? Do you need to start a new company? Do you need to start a new infrastructure? Can you put it under something you already have? Can you do it without? Right? Like, who do you need to talk to make it happen? Is it a service? Is it a product? And I'm remembering something that I was listening to. I think Myron Golden a couple of weeks ago, and he mentioned something like one way to increase income, and completely different. He wasn't talking about like following ideas, but he was talking about like products, service, and it's something that I've always known and said even to myself, I'm naturally I'm naturally a product provider, right? That was my first hustle, was always providing product, from video games. Even before I was selling video games, I was selling candy as a kid. We had a penny store in Queensbridge. I would buy pieces of candy and sell them to the kids from Ravenswood, right, in elementary school, because they didn't have a penny store, and so I would make a couple of cents, right? But it was candy first, then it was video games. I was buying and selling video games, buy video games from the video store in Queensbridge for $3-4 and sell them to Funkoland, which ultimately became GameStop, right? But to sell them to Funkoland in Left Rack, right, on Queens Boulevard. Those are my first two hustles, right? Selling candy and selling video games, and then it became selling illegal stuff, right? But it's always been product, and even to changing my life, I've sold bracelets, I've sold magazines, I've sold incense, I've sold deodorant, soaps, right? I used to be outside in Queens at the train station with soaps, with deodorants, with incense, with oils, right? I'm naturally a product provider. I am also a service provider, right? I sell coaching services, right? I sell concepts, right? Ideas, right? Consulting. Um, However, I've learned that even if as a service provider, I like the example of painting houses. Let's say you paint houses and you could paint two houses a week at $20,000. That's $40,000 a week, right? $160,000 a month. Great money, great money. But you can only do so many services at a time, right? You can only do like you. And even if you have a company, right? All right, now you're paying people. Products are what take us to another level financially, right? Products are the companies, right? Product companies, product-based companies are the companies that get bought for 100 million, right? 500 million, right? Products are the things that you can sell in your sleep, right? And you can sell like a lot of them, right? Like from books to watches to chains to fans to juices, right? Shout out to Miss Juicy with her product, right? Mona Love launched Miss Juicy out there vending last week. I'm still trying to figure out how to like celebrate her. I'm gonna make a post and congratulate her and shout her out. She did 4 days of vending last week for the first time, vending Miss Juicy at Fit for Dance during the holiday market and during the party. Super proud of her. Products are those things that you can sell even when you sleep. Services, like people can purchase your services while you sleep, but you got to be up to do it. All right. Products, like especially once you got things automated, you got things in a certain way. Like, yeah. So I'm excited. So follow those ideas. Let's move right along to our fourth and final segment of the day. Today's fourth segment, Mona Love said, "Thank you, of course, baby. Of course, you are very welcome. I'm extremely proud of you." Tefu said, "We all need to practice self-defense. Absolutely, all of us. Get stronger, get sharper, get quicker. All right, learn how to take somebody down, learn how to disarm somebody, take a knife, take a gun for somebody, all of that shit." But let's move right along to our fourth and final segment of the day. Today's build of the day. Today we're going to build on therapy and wellness are evolving. Therapy and wellness are evolving. Virtual reality therapy, VRT, is officially a thing. VR therapy, virtual reality therapy, uses immersive computer-generated environments to help treat mental health conditions like anxiety, phobias, PTSD, and addiction by allowing patients to safely confront fears, practice coping skills, and desensitize themselves to triggers in a controlled setting, often as an enhancement to cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. A therapist guides the patient wearing a VR headset through realistic simulations, gradually increasing intensity as the patient builds confidence and reduces anxiety responses. How it works: immersion. Patients wear a VR headset that blocks out the real world and immerses them in a 360 virtual environment with realistic visuals and sounds. Controlled exposure. Therapists create custom scenarios, example, flying, public speaking, heights to match the patient's needs, allowing them to face fears gradually. Gradual desensitization. By repeatedly experiencing triggers in a safe space, the brain learns to weaken the strong emotional link between the situation and the anxious reaction. This shit is neuroscience. This shit is fascinating. Skill practice. Patients practice relaxation, mindfulness, and other coping mechanisms within the situation, strengthening their ability to manage anxiety in real life. What it treats: anxiety disorders, social anxiety, panic disorder, generalized anxiety, phobias, fear of flying, fear of heights, needles, public speaking, and enclosed spaces. PTSD, re-exposure to traumatic events in a safe, controlled manner. Addiction and eating disorders, providing exposure and coping strategies. ADHD, practicing focus and impulse control. Pain management, distraction from acute pain. The key benefits with VRs that is safe, right? Safety, or offers a secure environment to face overwhelming situations without real world consequences. Customization, since scenarios can be precisely tailored and adjusted by the therapist to the patient's progress and accessibility, makes exposure therapy more practical, cost effective, and easier to implement than traditional methods. VR therapy is the real thing. The therapy and wellness game is changed. Not that it's going to continue to change, but it's already changed. I've seen a few ads, different companies offering VR relaxation, VR meditation, and I'm excited. I'm excited for this shit, man. I know a lot of people have their gripes with AI and with virtual reality, and I understand those gripes for the most part, right? Especially those who think that it's dangerous because what it does to the mind. It's a tool. There are challenges and there are incredible benefits. There are challenges to everything that we do. There are challenges. There are challenges. How about this? There are challenges to not using the service. There are challenges to not evolving with the rest of the world, right? Yes, it's benefits, right? Talk therapy, right? Being able to, but some people, right? Like I think once you understand neuroplasticity, visualization, how visualizing, practicing, right, something prepares you for that thing. Visualizing, right, envisioning, and then practicing being in a space before you're actually in that space prepares you to realistically go into that space. So, for example, if you're coming home from prison and you have anxiety around getting a job, right? Because you've never had a job before. You've been a street dude, you've been a street chick your whole life. You sold drugs, you robbed people, you never got a job. Now you're ready to change your life. You need to go get a job, but you got social anxiety. You don't know how to talk to people. You don't feel confident in your resume. You don't feel confident. You have no resume. You may have worked when you were 14 for some of you, right? You haven't worked since. You may not understand how your skills could benefit a company. So you got anxiety. There's nothing wrong with putting on a headset and practicing and going to a job interview, right? And it could be created, it could be tailored, the software could be tailored to deal with rejection, right? Not that everything's gonna go well, no, but you deal with rejection. But you deal with rejection before you actually get rejected. And so you feel the feelings, your heart palpitates, right? You got the VR headset, right? It feels real. Your brain doesn't know the difference between real and imagined. Cool. Take the headset off. Okay, you are safe. Things are well. You are here. You want to practice again. And now you go practice again. And now maybe you say something different, right? You do something different. Things work out a little differently. But it's practice, preparation. We said proper preparation prevents poor performance. If you put a headset on and prepare yourself for any real world situation before you are actually faced with that situation, that has to be a benefit. In my humble opinion, that has to be a benefit, especially when it's in a controlled environment, when it is facilitated by people who actually care about you and about humans and about people in general. It's a beautiful fucking thing. You know, yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited because I got some shit. I got some shit. I got some shit. I got some shit. And yeah, these last few things that I've created, I'm more excited than I've ever been about anything I've created. I've created things. I've created um services, right? I've created initiatives, but moving into the still service, right? Because part of it is, I mean, it's all service, but moving into product space, something I'm really excited about because I understand fully what moving into the product space can do for me as an individual and in turn, what is going to allow me to do for others. Job creation, all right, be able to fund more initiatives, be able to like just help more people. We got schools we need to build, we got clinics we need to build, we got affordable, deeply affordable, truly affordable housing we need to build, right? We need to build better infrastructure across so many freaking fields. So yeah, I'm super excited. I'm super grateful. And guys, that is the show. That is our show for today. Anthony Knowles, what's going on, my brother? Peace and love. Listen, family, thank you guys for tuning in. Once again, I am your boy, your host, LaShawn Sugar Martin. You are tuned into SR Daily, episode 525. Today, Tuesday, we are doing a food distribution in Queensbridge. We are giving our grocery boxes because today is Tuesday. We normally do it on Thursday. Thursday is Christmas, and we're not doing it Christmas Eve. We're not working Christmas Eve. All right, Connected Chef, we are taking a break, and we're not working next week either. Right, we're gonna take a break. We're gonna take 10 days, 11 days, and we'll be back on the 5th. We'll be back in Queensbridge on the 8th. But today is the final distribution in Queensbridge for the year. It's been an incredible year. It's been, of course, a challenging year, all right, but it's been a beautiful year. It's been a divine year. And I'm super excited to be in the neighborhood today. So if you're in Queensbridge, you need a grocery box, come by, right? 1 o'clock, we have some extra boxes we give to those who wait in line, all right? Yeah, man. Take care of the people. Serve the people. Punch Dollar, my brother, what's the deal? Peace and love. But listen, guys, that's the show, man. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Please do join us right back here tomorrow. Same time, same place. Even though Connected Chef, we're taking a break. SR Daily takes no breaks. We will be here today. We will be here tomorrow. We will be here on Christmas. We will be here on New Year's Eve and on New Year's Day. And I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Tomorrow, same time, same place, 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and of course, Instagram Live. And remember, it ain't getting knocked down. That's the problem. It's staying down. So get up. The power is in you. As always, be kind to yourself and be kind to each other. Peace and love.